Boys and girls, it's Mrs. Paddock. I have a Canada story for you, and this one is about totem poles. Totem poles. Now, we don't often see too many totem poles here in Manitoba or in Winnipeg specifically, but out west in BC, British Columbia, there's lots and lots of totem poles, and let's learn a little bit about them. It is a Canadian symbol. A symbol for Canada. A symbol is a picture or a thing that stands for something important. Some First Peoples carve totem poles with their important symbols. Today, the totem pole is a symbol for Canada too. This totem pole is outside of a government building. You can see how it's kind of a little bit hard to see because you see the building behind it, but there's the totem pole in front of it. Making totem poles. The western coast of Canada had plenty of food for First Peoples. They fished and found fruits and nuts. Because it was easy to find food, the people had time to make totem poles. Canada's first totem poles were made on the western coast. And so again, you can see one right here. It's quite tall, isn't it? Most totem poles are made from cedar trees. Cedar wood is good for carving, and it lasts for a very long time. Many totem poles are painted with bright colors after they are carved. So here, there's somebody carving a totem pole, right? This tree here is a red cedar tree. Here's part of a painted totem pole. So you can see they use some bright colors like blue, there's black, there's red for the lips. Kind of cool, eh? Clan and symbols. Clans are groups within a nation. Clan members share the same stories. First Peoples carved their clan symbols on totem poles. Totem comes from the Ojibwa word for family symbol. These members of the nation are celebrating a new totem pole. So there's a new totem pole right here. It hasn't been painted though yet. It's just kind of plain in this one, but you could see another one here that has been painted. Clans often have animals as their symbols. First Peoples carved many animals into their totem poles. You may see bears, wolves, fish, frogs, and birds. So here, some of the clans put, for example, sea otters as their symbol. So there's a sea otter, a real one, and then they carved sea otter into the cedar wood. Telling stories. If you understand the symbols, then you can read the totem pole's story. The thunderbird is one of the best known symbols on totem poles. It's not a real bird, but it appears in many legends. A thunderbird has huge wings for making thunder. How cool, I think that's so pretty, isn't it? Totem poles can tell the story of a real event. They are also used to honor ancestors and to celebrate clan members. Totem poles sometimes support buildings and form doorways. So here, this totem pole is also a doorway. Can you see sort of the mouth? That's the entranceway to get into this building. How cool is that, eh? It's got an eagle at the top too. That's a beautiful totem pole. Tall totem poles. When a totem pole is finished, it must be raised. The raising ceremony happens at potlatch. The potlatch is a big feast. It takes many people to raise a tall totem pole. So these things they weigh a ton, right? So it takes lots of people, and they use kind of like big, like strong rope, and they kind of have to try and lift it into place. So there you go. Most totem poles are between 3 and 20 meters high. Some of them are even taller. Many of the world's tallest totem poles are in British Columbia, so that's out west from us. This totem pole in Alert Bay, British Columbia is more than 50 meters tall. You can see they actually have stuff to try and hold it up, right? Like cables and stuff, so that it doesn't topple over, because that's really, really tall. And there you have it. So have you seen a totem pole before? I have. But again, most of the totem poles that we have here in Canada are found out west. But I do think we have one here in Manitoba as well, in Winnipeg anyways. But if you ever see a totem pole, you should really check it out and see if you can tell the story by sort of reading the totem pole, right? And figuring out the animals. Does it have a thunderbird? Man, that would be kind of cool to see a thunderbird with its big wings and stuff, right? Yeah, and they're so colorful and unique. Love it. Hope you enjoyed the story. We'll talk to you soon. Love you, and I miss you all. Bye-bye.